Michigan admits to sign stealing, and now I understand, and I think we've had the inside edge on this story from the beginning. Michigan always knew what happened. We told you that way back when this broke last year. Michigan always knew what had happened. They simply wanted to make sure that they could win a national championship because they know, just like everybody else knows, that the NCAA is no longer in the business of ripping championships. They won their championship, and now it is undoubted, in my opinion. Michigan cheated their way to a championship. If you did not see the story yesterday, Michigan responded to enforcement action from the NCAA by admitting a sign-stealing operation happened. Their answer was, no, well, yeah, but no coaches knew. In the response, the school acknowledged that some impermissible in-person scouting appears to have occurred, quote, though less than the NCAA claims, and that some recruiting violations occurred as well. All of the wrongdoing, it says, will be addressed in the Committee on Infractions hearing, and it will advise the committee members of self-imposed penalties. Michigan believes that the Committee on Infractions, COI means Committee on Infraction, dummy, will see that actual evidence has, quote, not borne out, end quote, the NCAA's initial assessment of the resulting sensational public narrative or the approach taken in the notice of allegations, the response says. Despite producing phone, computer, and other data to the NCAA, investigators have not proven that, quote, any coaches were aware or much less participated in schemers trying to control their little sign stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get something straight. Michigan stole signs, admittedly, in an illegal manner, because sign stealing itself is not illegal, and they committed recruiting violations. Those are not questions. Those are not opinions. Michigan has admitted that. They cheated their way to a championship. Nobody had the balls to do something about it in real time. And so here we are. When we talk about, oh, Monty, they've won back-to-back championships in the Big Ten. No, they haven't. I don't want to hear about the SEC cheating. I don't want to hear about, well, the SEC can't cheat anymore. What did Michigan do? Michigan cheated. Michigan won a championship by cheating because nobody had the balls to do anything about it.
Because it's illegal.
Why did Jim Harbaugh leave Michigan? Well, Monty, they went. No, well, Monty's. He left Michigan because he knew he was going to take a year-long suspension if he stayed. Why didn't he sign a new contract at Michigan? Because somehow, some way, some of the jackwagons that run the University of Michigan finally found a moral compass and said, we're not giving you insulation and guaranteed money
Immunity
from NCAA prosecution. There's no way to spin it anymore. Michigan's reputation, Michigan's ethics and morals have been tainted by Jim Harbaugh and his football department and the cheating scandal that they now admit took place in that football department. Say anything you want about Ryan Day. Let's not forget that his brother and his private investigator and, yeah, all that. Let's not forget he just won a championship, and Ryan Day and Ohio State are national championships. They did it clean. They had the most difficult road. Michigan had an easy road. They cheated. We knew they cheated, and nobody had the balls to do anything about it. And there's that. Those are not opinions. Those are facts. Did you have a sign-stealing operation in your football department? Yes. Oh, but Monty, the coaches didn't know. Hey, guess what? Doesn't matter if they knew. Doesn't matter if they knew. What's the NCAA rule book say? Yeah. It's called lack of institutional control.
Oh.
Because it's your responsibility to know. But Jim Harbaugh, Jimmy just feeding kids that were hungry.
It's cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers. And they were cold. Yeah, winter's cold in Michigan, Marty. But now you admit that recruiting violations happen. Whoa. Oh, my God. Jim Harbaugh, he just happened to be at the same restaurant. Not a crime to go out to eat, Monty. He was just getting an omelet and some hash browns. Maybe wanted to throw in some tater tots. And little Jimmy was in the corner with a can. So Jim Harbaugh bought little Jimmy a fucking cheeseburger. And you guys want to say we cheated. Pricks. Turns out you did cheat, and now you've admitted it.
I love the language, too. I love the language. We did, but it's less than what the NCAA is saying.
I mean, we cheated. Well, yeah, but
Right, T.
what was he supposed to do?
I mean, it was 10 cheeseburgers, not 15. Like, there's a difference.
And yeah, the FBI was on campus, but fuck that. Like, we beat him on the field. Free Harbaugh.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
Shut up.
I don't want to hear the best point of this whole thing. And I'm sure I can't wait to read the comments. The best part of the whole thing is the lack of institutional control portion. Jim never knew. None of our coaches knew.
The kid was hungry. What was he supposed to? You're going to punish us. You're punishing us for being good human beings, buddy. Hey, are you having a stroke? No, that's a Jim Harbaugh. He fed me too much cholesterol in those cheeseburgers when I was a kid.
My butt.
The SEC cheated. Well, why are the SEC getting black asterisks and stuff? Rip their trophy.
The lie detector test determined that was a lie.
What about Ryan Day's brother? He's a private investigator. So what if I cheated on my wife? You need no private investigator to tell me that. They broke into our computer file because his brother's a private investigator. Jimmy was just feeding hungry cats. Hey, man, this fucking Connor Stallions was a lone wolf, man. Monty, you don't know what you're talking
Sign
about.
stealer guy.
You're making all this up.
By the way,
Connor Stallions wasn't on the sideline
Jim
at Central
McElwain,
Michigan.
Any comment? Jim. Hey, the other Jim, not Jim Harbaugh. Jim McElwain. Any comment?
Well, you look at Connor Stallions, who wasn't on the sidelines, but he was wearing those Ray-Ban glasses. Bro, that wasn't a blue recording light. That was a reflection from a Pythagorean theorem in the isosceles angle of the light that came in.
It's the fucking vernal
And
equinox.
the vernal equinox came together, and it was a prism of awesomeness. And then we put it all together, and then when we put ketchup on the cheeseburger so Jimmy wouldn't starve, I mean, you put all this together, it's a big nothing burger, kind of like the one he bought for those recruits at that restaurant that nobody can prove.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
This is some of my best work.
It is, and I really appreciate
and
it.
you know what? When the coaches couldn't not Sharon Moore deleted those text messages because Connor Stallions was sending naked pictures of the vacuum salesman.
That's fucking interesting, man.
Nothing to do with Connor. What is that little leprechaun like running back? Balake Karam. When he signed those LLC papers with Connor, that's
The
not
ink isn't
cheating.
dry yet.
Right, but it's not cheating even if the ink is still wet because Jimmy was just feeding hungry kids at the holidays.
We're getting somewhere.
Okay, now, I have to say, let's see what the comment section has for us. Let's see this epic defense that's about to go down for Michigan right here.
That's whole vacuum thing. It's all bullshit.
Oh, here it is.
Are you telling me,
Monty,
that you're just going to leave crumbs from that cheeseburger on the floor of the restaurant? When you know that your coach, who doesn't work for you, that lone wolf, right, Connor Stallions, we didn't have that light reflecting blue. Are you telling me just because he had a vacuum or two laying around and he happened to toss one into Connor or Balake's car, and they drove over to the restaurant, and the recruit happened to be in the same restaurant as the hungry kid
This
who left
is
crumbs
a
on the
tasty
ground?
burger.
And then they took the vacuum that Connor repaired and Blake plugged in, and they vacuumed up the burger crumbs. That's not Jim Harbaugh's fault. But why is he coaching the Chargers? He's an excellent coach. Everybody wants him. He accomplished everything.
I don't know. I don't know if
Right? He accomplished everything that you could ever want to accomplish here in the state of Michigan. And so he left. He didn't running. He's Captain America, man.
Doesn't get any more red, white, and blue than
Jimmy
that.
Harbaugh would never lie, cheat, and steal to win a
Cheating, lying,
What?
and then playing the victim.
You guys are just a bunch of Michigan haters. Bradley Dunkel. Scum.
Dunkel!
Ho-ho! Scum doing scum things.
Correct.
Kind of like the scumbag Kansas City Chiefs.
Right.
Steely. Ferris, a prime example of their fan base spouting nonsense for the last year. Stop already, Ferris. Listen. I know I moved to Carlsbad.
Wait. Read his comment right here.
I moved
And
to
do the
Carlsbad. I moved to Carlsbad. That doesn't mean that Jim Harbaugh cheated.
Sign
Right.
stealer guy.
Let me tell you something.
Monty.
Connor Stallions was acting as a lone wolf. Hey, but Ferris, it doesn't matter if he was a lone wolf because it's called lack of institutional control. You know, he has to know or he didn't know. Either way, I mean, Jim Harbaugh sucked as a head coach. Well, you can't say he sucked as a head coach, okay? Because they won, and it had nothing to do with sign stealing. We knew the signals already, bro. He was a lone wolf. Connor Stallions, he was a Marine. You respect his service to our country. He was acting as a sentry, not a lone wolf. But
What the fuck are you, Ranger Rick?
You said lone. But listen, Marty, I live in Carlsbad now.
Marty.
Old Tatanka. Monty, don't pop a vein. It'll be okay.
Dude.
We're just having fun with it. This is a victory celebration. Imagine a defense knowing exactly what play a team was about to run. They should have held teams to under 10 points in every single game. Ask CJ Stroud if it impacted him that they knew what signals they were calling. Oh, but Monty, the coaches didn't know. Okay, so let me just get this right. Connor Stallions on video is seen
repeatedly
standing next to the Michigan coaches, telling them the play that the opposition team was going to run. And then when he tells them, all the Michigan players in the background, pass, run, jockstrap, put it in your butt. Hey, they're going to put it in your, it's coming. Rectal,
Just so you
back
can go
door.
to Pound Town.
Back door, Pound Town. Downstairs, kitty cat. Hey, they're running downstairs, kitty cat.
Smiles and glory holes.
And then they make the play, and oh my God, it's a tackle for loss. Monty, it's not because they stole the signals. That we were talented
they didn't
players.
even know who sign stealer guy was, right? He was just a staffer.
JJ McCarthy was a great quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Shut up. Probably too much. Damian Fowler, Jake, I hope you tape that Monty rant for your soundboard. You know.
Yeah.
Once again, Monty let his emotions get in the way of facts.
Oh, okay.
Stallions likely.
Wait, pull up the graphic.
Likely.
Pull up the graphic really quick. So now we're using words like likely. And what did they say? It appears that scouting violations might have happened.
The school acknowledges that some impermissible in-person scouting appears to have occurred.
Likely appears,
though less than the NCAA claims.
Oh.
So, okay. Stallions likely acted without the knowledge of the coordinators or head coach. Hey, Carlsbad Kenny, let me ask you a question.
Carlsbad Kenny.
Let me ask you a question. Does it matter if the coaches knew?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest.
Interesting. So Connor Stallions, who was on the football staff, because we know this how, Jake? Oh, that's right. They fired him. So let me get this right.
Tennessee.
You fucking fired him. I mean,
not the vacuums, though.
You know what, Monty? It was insubordination. I told him to bring a vacuum to the cafe where we were feeding hungry kids, and he wouldn't do it. We had to fire him.
Out of here.
I had to fire his ass. And then the guy brings like a Sharknado vacuum. I just wanted a Hoover like his mom. Like, that's all I was asking for.
That's the bottom line.
So let me get this right. You had a guy on staff who you fired for this. So the NCAA rulebook, it says it's not cheating as long as you fired him. No, that's not quite what it says. It says, according to the NCAA bylaws, a coach and administrator, they're viewed as the same. is responsible for the actions of his staff, including his coaches and his players, and their actions on and off the field. It specifically says that it doesn't matter if he is aware or unaware. If his coach or staff member, he was a sentry, he was in the Marines, God bless that service. Absolutely, God bless that service. But you fired him because he sent people out to different stadiums to videotape stuff on iPhones that he provided, sent it up to the cloud, and then paid them and paid for tickets. You know how we know that? Because this guy, who's his century, used a public Venmo account.
Well, that's the issue, isn't it?
Bought tickets in his own name in public. And then the people that he sent to the games were like, yeah, you want to know about this, Jackwagon? Yeah, it was raining, so I only stayed the first half. Hope I got the signs you needed. Well, how did you get them how do we know that they used a cloud account that was in Connor Stallion's name? Oh, that's right, because they told us that they uploaded the videos they took on the iPhone. They upload. So again, Ferris Clown, I ask you, in Carlsbad, because damn it, I love Carlsbad. And that's not really the point. My point is, it doesn't matter if they knew. It has zero bearing if they knew. But you just keep running out, acted without the knowledge of the coordinators or head coach. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Zero.
It's over for you.
Zero. Blue Wolverines love bananas. Okay. Michigan is fighting because they found minimal does not match level 1. So we should just take. I know, right? I am not the smartest guy on the planet.
Not the brightest light bulb, the sharpest knife.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But let me just ask you, because you're way smarter than me. So we should take Michigan at their word that it was minimal. And
well, they're upstanding people. They would never, ever do anything like this.
So if it was minimal and there was really no evidence, let's wind back the clocks. So you wanted an injunction.
Let's wind the clocks back a year.
To stop the Big Ten and the NCAA, essentially, from suspending Jim Harbaugh. The injunction was filed in Michigan Superior Court.
Right. Okay.
The judge, he played at
Ohio State, right?
He played at Vanderbilt.
Penn State.
Pedo State, right? Like he knuckles deep,
Shower
right?
Olympic school.
No, he played football. The judge that was going to hear the injunction, he played football at Michigan.
Oh.
But
And
wait,
now,
didn't they? They
now
didn't
he's-
go through with it though, right?
Now he's a judge and he's going to hear this injunction. We've got this one. Oh, wait. Why at the absolute last second did Michigan and their representation choose not to go to court? Oh, because there must have been just no evidence to say that there was a lack of institutional control. Ferris, if you really believe that there's minimal evidence, what would minimal evidence mean? Would it mean that Connor Stalions used a publicly available Venmo account in his own name to pay people? Would you call that minimal?
No.
Would it mean that he bought tickets at other venues? Would you call that minimal?
Well, let's focus on what's on video too, because I think the video portion.
Good point.
Yeah.
Would you call it minimal evidence that all of these stadiums not only aggregated but submitted video of these people who they knew were doing what they were doing? They videotaped them on their iPhones, videoing the sideline, coming into the stadium, leaving the stadium.
Hey, guys.
I mean, that would be minimal evidence. Well, no, would that be significant evidence? Would first person testimony, including media interviews, that would be No, that would be a first person account of how it all went down.
I want to just make sure I understand. So the NCAA is able to through evidence, not just people talking, not just corroboration, right?
Right. In the Hungry Kids.
In the Hungry Kids and stuff,
Cheeseburgers.
and such as and like. The NCAA is able to, through video and receipts, say, hey, we see these people here on video. at these stadiums, your public Venmo account on those days or right around those days, pay those people what you owed them. We then can see the transfer date and time of when they uploaded to the cloud. Then, in addition to that, we can see your behavior on the sideline directly impacting the game. Then we have people in and around the program. Because again, the best part of this article, what's nobody talking about? Yeah, the source who busted all this open and turned the NCAA onto this, an anonymous source from inside on campus.
No. It was Ryan Day's brother who's a private investigator.
I know. So again, Ferris, dude, like at some point you're just gonna have to come around to it.
This
man.
is Michigan in the story that broke yesterday. This is Michigan admitting it. What do you mean minimal? It doesn't matter if it was just Connor Stalions one game went and was seen. It doesn't matter how minimal it is. The NCAA in the rule book does not permit in-person sign stealing. And I would point this out again. Why don't they permit that? Well, it's an unfair advantage. No, it's not. They don't. They made it against the rules because universities didn't want to pay to travel extra staff.
Advanced scouting.
So what do you get? And I know Michigan's intelligent, but what do you get every week? Every single week into a portal. Every university uploads their football film into a portal that everybody has access to, including the entire sideline, the all 22, all of it. There was no reason to ever send anybody to a game to do this because they give it to you already. So when you talk about minimal, or you in public yesterday admitted that you knew it happened. You knew it happened. Hey, Ferris, your VO.
Hey, Ferris.
Hey, Ferris. Your VOCFB buddies agree with you about your takes. You should go see how they are. Listen, I am amazed that Michigan fans still has their head in the sand. I am amazed that you believe he was a lone wolf. I am amazed that you believe he did nothing wrong. I am amazed that you believe that there is minimal. It doesn't matter if there's one sliver of evidence. They're admitting there were recruiting violations. They're admitting that there was illegal, impermissible in-person scouting. You admitted it. And all this is by Michigan is bloviating and chest puffing. Because if you read the letter of the law, which Michigan had a hand in writing, because who's enforcing this? The NCAA, which is all the member institutions. You admitted you did it. There's no arguing about it. You admitted you did it. You're going to get slapped. You admitted you did it. Jim Harbaugh is going to get a 10-year show cause because you admitted you did it. Sharon Moore is probably going to get a suspension. He deleted text messages. You admitted you did it. You admitted you had recruiting violations. When the coach leaves, and this is all publicly available online, the NCAA bylaws. What happens when a coach who's committed major level 1 infractions, which Jim Harbaugh doesn't argue with, because what did he do? What is his level 1 infraction? Was it buying cheeseburgers for hungry kids who were out in the cold in Detroit? No. Jim Harbaugh lied to the Committee on Infractions. How do we know he lied? Well, let's see. There are text messages where he talks about meeting the kid at a place and a time. His family is, it's all electronically proved out.
Yeah.
What you're denying now, it just makes you look like an idiot.
Yeah.
And Ferris, I actually don't think you're stupid. I think you just don't want to admit.
Stubborn as hell and prideful.
And you don't want to admit you were completely and absolutely wrong. We are the ones who have been
since day one
out in front of this story right to the letter. We have never, not once, put a step wrong on the Michigan cheating story. Go back. It's all on the channel. Go back. Never mind. You still got to deal with what the FBI is looking into with computer crimes. Yeah, you fired another staff member for that. What do you think? What do you think happened with Juwan Howard in the basketball program at Michigan? Do you think that Michigan's athletic department is a well-run, well-oiled machine? Ward Manuel's a laughingstock in college athletics. He also has to be. He also happens to be the chairman of the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, which is in and of itself is criminal. So, can TCUN be sued for loss of money due to cheating? I don't think so. And I like how Sharon said that he deleted Stallion's text messages because he was pissed off at what Stallions did. It doesn't matter why you did it. You covered it up.
Yep.
I hope people understand Jim Harbaugh's tier 1 violations are all only more severe because he lied and covered it up allegedly and wouldn't sit for an interview and then said, I'm doing it for the kids. Is that why you ran off to Los Angeles to be the coach of the Chargers? Because you're doing it for the kids? No, because you were running away from punishment. Kind of hard to deny that.
Yeah.
So, delusional charlatans. It's been 40 years since Notre Dame won a championship. What does Notre Dame have to do with this conversation?
Nothing.
Oh, you're deflecting. That's right. That's right. You're deflecting. The truth is, you're going to get slapped. And I think pretty harshly. And I think that, again, if you're Sharon Moore, self-admitting this stuff, notice the other part of this that I think is really critical. You already punished yourself, you say. What? And I'm wondering. Let's see what those punishments are.
What your self-imposed penalties
Let's
were.
see what those punishments are. Are those the Harbaugh suspensions? Because if they are, you didn't really punish yourself at all. You didn't really punish yourself.
And again, why are you punishing yourself if you did nothing wrong?
Well, you can't say you did nothing wrong anymore because now you've admitted what you did wrong.
Precisely my point.
You had recruiting violations.
Look at Michigan's behavior. See, this is
impermissible in-person scouting.
Dude, you did the court thing where you went in and you were going to blow this whole thing up and nothing to see here. We're getting this dismissed. And then you ran from that fight because you knew you couldn't win. Then what did you do? Okay, well, we didn't win that. Now people think we're guilty. Now we need to go ahead and impose some penalties here. So we're going to suspend Jim Harbaugh for 3 hours and call it 3 weeks. And that should be enough.
Yeah. Damian Fowler, Smash is talking about Sam Webb. Is Sam Webb a credible source? To believe him, but Smash literally quit a Michigan podcast. You had a podcast with people just like Sam Webb because he didn't agree with what they were saying. Wonder why. I have no idea what that's even.
I don't know anything about that.
UW fan Jim Ferris is holding on to plausible deniability. Okay. Cougs Johnson. Minimal equals only stealing 1 to 2 tutties per game. Yeah, And the best part, when people got fed up, when you guys buried Rutgers.
Yeah, that's what got you caught.
Which is amazing. And Ward Manuel, the current president of the College Football Playoff Committee. Exactly. Ferris equals Baghdad Bob. I don't know.
Afghanistan.
It's just wild to me that Michigan fans want to continue to hang on to this.
Yeah.
Stuff. Hey, Jeremy Bolton is here.
Well.
Good to see you, my friend. Love the picture you posted on Insta Snapface, by the way. You used to actually be halfway decent looking. I mean, you're hideous now. Jeremy Bolton's like 79 years old and he's ripped. He's like are you still competing and training?
Do you even live?
Whatever. The NCAA has lost its power. No, it has not. Based on what have they lost their power? Okay. Sam Webb brings in experts. He is on CBS and local radio. Voice of College Football is more of a fan podcast. I don't know what Voice of College Football is.
So apparently you were on this podcast.
You were on the voice.
Out of it.
You were the voice of college football. Okay. And I got news for you. Nobody in the Michigan local media has been at all accurate or credible about this because we've looked and tried to find them.
Yeah.
Nobody has been credible. Steely, Ferris isn't stupid, just doesn't want to face the facts that Ohio State is the best. Feel bad. He is still in denial. I think Ferris is not stupid or unintelligent. The eye patch. James T. Kirk.
Right.
Yes. Exactly right. I can agree with that. Still doing the Spartans. You want a sticker, do you? Yeah, can you get me a Spartan race participant? Maybe a finisher
Yeah, what's
sticker.
the fee for a sticker? Because I'm not going to do all the work and everything. I just want the sticker.
Yeah. Folks are getting confused on what the NCAA can and cannot do. I agree with that. And I'm 78. Thank you very much. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Probably a burner account hiding the like BW or Moose. Okay.
Okay.
I agree that people get confused about what the NCAA can and cannot do. The NCAA, and I've told you this before, the NCAA is not going to impose death penalties. Those days are over. What they did to SMU, largely what they did to Reggie and USC, those days are over. But if you think that they're not going to smack Michigan hard, they'll never vacate wins. The national championship's not going anywhere. I think now we all know that Michigan cheated their way to a championship. I think that championship 2 years ago is scarred forever. Nobody thinks it's legitimate. Nobody thinks they earned it fair and square. I think me and most other people believe if they hadn't stolen signs, they wouldn't have won. I think what you're going to see is massive scholarship reductions, massive recruiting restrictions, significant show cause orders. It's going to be very difficult, I think, for 3 years for Michigan to operate effectively as a football program. I think death penalties, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. Dev MC, I believe Ohio State, Rutgers, and Purdue were the schools that brought the sign stealing operation to the Big Ten first because you buried Rutgers.
Again and again and again.
Come on. Brandon Butler, that Caruso headband must be the fountain of youth. It is. My lower back says otherwise, Brandon. Bro, I was taking a golf lesson last night. I am just old. When you participate in athletic endeavors and I'm 50, I'm going to be 52 here in a couple of weeks. I still hit the golf ball a mile. I'm learning how to do that better and better. But I woke up this morning and was like, damn, bro, my traps are jacked. Like you just get pain and soreness in different areas that, I'm not going into why I am not the voice of college football. Not fair to voice of college football if I spill dirty laundry in public. Are you talking about yourself in the third person now? It's not fair to you to. Dude, what are you doing? I will say that talking Michigan is just a hobby for me. It's not a profession. You're a fan.
Yeah.
What
do you mean?
I have no idea what you're talking about. None. With Penn State still having a program, that proves the NCAA has absolutely no power anymore. I think that they substantially punished Penn State. I agree that Penn State should never have played another down of football after the pedo state stuff came to light.
Yeah.
I feel that in my bones, Mayor. Can't wait for it to warm up. Me too. Jeez. Anime. The sign stealers. Ohio State better beat them next year. Dude, seriously. Seriously. Let's spend 47,226 seconds. Okay. Massive reduction in cheeseburger giveaways. Totally. If Ohio State can't beat Michigan next year, they just suck. That must be it. Only problem is their national championship's not tainted. There is that. Do you guys agree with me on that? Do you think that Michigan wins the national championship if they don't steal signs? In my opinion, I don't see any way that they win the national championship last year. I just don't. How would they have done that? Steely Ferris, those guys are complete bozos, so I don't hold much water in anything those guys do or say. Do you guys understand how difficult it is to do a show and like I was talking to a major university figure trying to get that person to come on our show.
Yeah.
And they won't come on because it's, I watch those YouTube shows and it's Stuff like Ferris calling himself the god of college football or whatever.
So
Come on, man.
and look, man, I'm just gonna shoot you straight. I've never looked any of this stuff up, right? I've never even heard of the voice of college football.
Oh, the voice of college football. excuse
Yeah,
me.
I've never like, and maybe I'm just casual. Maybe I should be more educated on this. But based on what I can see, the voice of college football, based on what I can see, is like a network, like a grouping of shows under one bigger umbrella. And you were the Michigan guy, and now I guess based on what everyone's saying that's not happening, I guess anymore. So I mean, I don't know, like I don't know anything about this, but yeah, I just think that I think that when you don't get to have it both ways. That's the reality of it. You can't do a show or pretend to do a professional show and then have fan takes and be wearing the blue colored glasses every ounce of your life. That doesn't work.
I wish people understood how difficult it is to do a show every day. Oh, John Jackson, breaking news. Jack in the Box just opened around the corner in Kaysville.
Dude, stay
Kaysville!
hard.
The home of Will Smith.
Stay hard.
Love that, dude. Ultimate cheeseburger. Best burger in fast food. Deflect, deny, and degrade. The Michigan fan playbook. There you go. Ferris is the goddess of pull-ups. I wish I could do pull-ups. Steely, Monty, you play golf today? I will work on my putting and chipping today, yes. Big John. Why can't people like Ferris understand that 6 level 1 violations is a serious matter?
Yeah, I just, the thing that's interesting, like whether it's Michigan or like the Florida State stuff or Pac-12, the Pac-12 meltdown and Oregon State fan, nobody just wants to say like, yeah, we did, like, it's pretty clear, like we did this, and it is pretty clear that there's evidence and we got caught and like we, like we're going to be held accountable on some level. At some point, the NCAA is going to say like, hey, this is what we have. We've got video evidence. We've got, transcripts like receipts and text messages and things like that. In addition to those two pieces, we've also got corroboration from, a number of different people with different perspectives from the situation, whether it's the guy that Connor sent out to the stadium to film, whether it's, someone on the sideline at Central Michigan who actually gave, Connor Stallions that pass. Like they've got all of this, like just a pile of evidence. So the funny thing is for me, when I have this conversation, I'm not a Big Ten guy. I'm not a Michigan fan or an Ohio State fan. Like I'm just someone who's doing the show, covering these stories, looking at the facts as they come to us. And there's no getting away from the fact that there is evidence and it is a dark day. And Ward Manuel should no longer be the athletic director at Michigan. I would go one step further and say that if there is any type of way through the evidence to link it back all the way up the food chain to Ward Manuel or God forbid Santa Ono, Michigan is in just a world of hurt, bro.
Totally agree. All right. The Monty Show is always presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Clear, risk-free advice. Don't trust your insurance company. That's my message to you today.